When Sikhs greet each other, we have a variety of greetings, but one of them is Sat Sri Akal. And Sat Sri Akal means truth is that which is timeless. Truth is timeless, and that's something that we're trying to connect ourselves to.
I could not explain the preciousness of life. Some of you may have experienced it yourself, and it's one of those things you have to experience. This conversation that we had today manages to articulate that, but it also managed to say why it's so important to take note. And there's a few things in this that I think will open your mind to that experience of being able to understand how precious life is. Today is a great segue because I used a tool to realize how precious life is. This poster right here, this is the Memento Mori poster, which literally means a reminder that we are mortal. That's what it is, to remind you that you're mortal. That is not the literal terminology, I don't think, but it's to remind you that you are mortal. And that's my life right there. That's 30 years plotted out in little weeks. So every little square represents a week of my life. I fill one in each week. I'm constantly reminded that one day I might not fill it in. I might have just filled in the last box, I don't know. And that, for me, makes me live with passion and purpose. The new version 2 poster is out. We took your feedback, and we've got a brand new version 2. We're super excited to share with you guys. So please check it out. Use code STOIC at checkout for 10% off, and you can also get the t-shirts and hoodies on the website where all of the profits go back into creating this content. But before that, the preciousness of life, something I was reminded of 7 years ago when I lost my son. This was the most mind-awakening moment in my life, and hopefully you can experience some of that through this conversation. Also, guys, please hit the notification bell, drop a comment down below, get some YouTube interaction as well. It is much appreciated. Let's dive into the video. One of the other Mulligan brothers, William, he runs a Stoic philosophy. He's into Stoic philosophy massively, but he runs a Stoic page. And he would not forgive me if I didn't ask sort of the idea of acceptance of death within Sikhism.
Yeah, this is a really important part of the Sixth Virtuality, which is it's not even just acceptance of death, but conquering the fear of death, I think is a big part of how we as Sikhs try to develop spiritually. Because the reality is that death is something that we're all going to face, right? This is the one thing that you can be sure of when you live, is that this journey is going to end. And this cult of resilience is something that Sikhs who are facing all this really tough times understood how close death was. They lived a life where death could be a breath away. And they start to even reframe, inspired of course by the Sixth Virtuality, but they would start saying that, when someone died, they're continuing their journey. They would look at death as a next step in our journey, that they're on to the next stage, that death was something that was always close. But when you really connect spiritually and understand that infinity is within us, a Sikh who understands that and experiences that realizes that too is an illusion. That's the ultimate spiritual goal of a Sikh, realizing that this living and dying that occurs is all but a game, it's all but a play. And the truth is that we're timeless. When we define the oneness that I keep on talking about in our conversation, it is defined as something that is timeless, that is something that is epitomized by always being present. When Sikhs greet each other, we have a variety of greetings, but one of them is Sat Sri Akal. And Sat Sri Akal means truth is that which is timeless. Truth is timeless, and that's something that we're trying to connect ourselves to. It's a really important idea, and it's a constant reminder in the Sixth Virtuality where we honor this time on earth so powerfully. This is the greatest gift we've been given, being here in this human form. And our goal must be to understand this oneness, to connect to this oneness. And by connecting to this oneness, that's how we're able to connect to our true nature and express ourselves in the best way, shape, and form, to really serve and help those around us to the best extent. And there's a constant reminder that death is around the corner. Every single breath you take is a gift. Death is around the corner. So cherish this life, but beyond cherish it, use it. Use this time wisely. Commit yourself towards understanding this oneness, this connection that we all share. And by doing so, uplift those around us.
Just to expand on that one last point, is that your held belief that death is around the corner, or is that a principle of Sikhism?
It is a constant theme. It is a part of the Sixth Virtuality. There's constant reminders in our spiritual teachings of the ever presence of death, and how when we conquer this fear of death, that's how you can truly start to live a free life. That's how you can start truly expressing yourself in a manner which is to your best ability. When you understand that this is, for Sikhs, we describe this life, this illusion that we're experiencing, that we live, right? This illusion that you and I are separate. We describe it, it's described in our spiritual teachings as a play, as a drama. And when we realize that the true nature is timelessness, and that's what we're trying to connect with, then we no longer fear death. We understand it's just another step into this journey. And that allows us, I think, to live a freer life, a life of more joy, and a life of far more balance and peace. And that is a huge part of our spiritual goal. In connecting to oneness, we realize that we're infinite, and that this body we have is just dirt. And that infinity is something that will fill us with joy and love. And that's why it's such a huge focus of our spirituality.
So for me, I in my life, I've experienced how precious life is. You know, it can be gone in such a quick moment. And then when I look towards the science as well, the idea that we are here, personally, me or you, is like stacked up so against us, that life is so precious. How important is it to understand that? How important is it to understand the preciousness of life? Is that something that's taught us in Sikhism?
It is like one of the something that's repeated so much again in the Sixth Virtuality, time and time again, is the preciousness of life and the closeness of death. And how we live, like, so much of our life it's easy to get engrossed and blinded by this play of life and the material world, and running from one desire to another desire to another desire, and never living in the moment. And Sikh spirituality is in response to that kind of lifestyle, to reorientate an individual and say, live in this moment, connect to the now, connect to one another. If we battle the ego, if a big part of the Sikh spirituality is fighting the ego, we have to understand how does the ego exist, right? The ego is something that is born out of our deeds of the past, and it's something that is fueled by our desires of the future. So in the moment, in the now, when we truly embrace this now, that's a moment, I think, that is beyond the ego. That is a moment, and that we supersede that chain of the ego. And meditation for Sikhs, reflecting on the teachings of our gurus, of the spiritual scripture, our guru, the Gurratan Singh, reading and reflecting and absorbing this knowledge and meditating, this is how we connect deeper with oneness, and this is how we fight the ego.
Thank you so much for Gurratan for doing this video. This is one of those subjects as well, which I had a few of with Gurratan, that hit a chord for me. The preciousness of life, how gifted we are just to wake up every single morning, and the acceptance of death, that it can be gone in an instant. Sometimes I think some people are so mesmerized and shocked by the awareness. Sometimes we're close to death, so the awareness that we could just be gone tomorrow. And sometimes that scares people. For me, it's a constant reminder that I have to move forward with passion and purpose. This poster right here is available on the website. It's 10% off using code STOIC. So go check it out. That's the tool I use. But if you need more reminders like that, listening to conversations like this are fantastic ways of doing that. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.